What's the word, Bears fans? Look, the 2025 Chicago Bears took the NFL by storm thanks to captivating comebacks, iconic throws from my boy Caleb Williams, incredible takeaways defensively, and immaculate leadership from first year head coach Ben Johnson. It was good, better, best indeed, but this team will have to improve if they want to hoist the Lombardi Trophy sooner rather than later. It's your boy Big Kev, and we're going to discuss the top 3 ways the Chicago Bears can get better next season right after the intro. All right, what's the word, Chicago Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bears related. Y'all already know where to follow us, Shop Bears Central, wherever you like to go for social media. Hit us up at chicagobearscentral@gmail.com if you want to leave an email, or text or voicemail us at 773-242-9336. You can also follow me at Big Kev from the Shy, Big Kev from DACHI, or Chicago White Sox Central. But we're going to get right into this content, the Chicago Bears. We've been doing this all week. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. My number one thing the Chicago Bears can do to improve next season, they're going to have to improve defensively. I mean, we're going to start with the obvious. Besides takeaways, the defense struggled in mostly every game last season. I mean, 33 takeaways, that was nice. But teams like the Chicago Bears cannot totally rely on turnovers if they want to be taken seriously as a defense. Opposing offenses knew if they took care of the football, they would be able to march up and down the field versus the Chicago Bears. But it wasn't all bad, of course. But the 2025 Dennis Allen defense ranked 29th overall because they gave up 24.4 points per game. That's 23rd overall. 7.6 yards per pass attempt. That's 25th overall. And 5 yards per rushing attempt. That's 26th overall. They ranked 23rd in sacks with 35 total. Oddly enough, even with all the yards yielded to opponents, the Bears still ranked second in passer rating. Go figure. Now, before we discuss my take on how the Bears can improve defensively, I will give them credit for how they performed in the postseason. Even though they struggled in the first half versus the Green Bay Packers, FGB, by the way, they dominated the second half of that game and helped the Bears win. And then they also held a high-octane offense of the LA Rams to just 20 points in their overtime loss. And they even managed to pile up 5 sacks in 2 games in the postseason. So kudos to them for that. But how can this defense improve next year? We'll dig deeper into free agency and the draft later on. But first of all, they're going to have to get healthy. It felt like every single week the Chicago Bears were without key players. Jalen Johnson worked his way back from a groin injury by the end of the season, but clearly he wasn't 100%. Tremaine Edmonds worked his way back from an injury as well. Played the last couple of games and in playoffs, but he wasn't himself. Tremaine Edmonds was out. Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, they were both in and out of the lineup, and the list goes on and on. Now, football is a tough sport to play, and injuries happen on all teams, but I do not expect there to be so many defensive injuries for the Chicago Bears next season. They'll definitely be better off because of this. Secondly, the defensive line is just going to have to improve. Javon Dexter Sr. and Austin Booker will both have to step up and play better next season, more so Javon Dexter season, because Austin Booker missed most of the season due to injury and still managed to get 4.5 sacks. Javon Dexter Sr., however, only got 6 sacks, and we did expect to see him get 8 to 10 sacks maybe this year. We expected him to build on a strong season last season and get a little bit better, but he was a no-show in a lot of games. Now, Montez Sweat, he's making a lot of money. He's going to have to get better as well. He did have 10 sacks, but it felt like empty calories more than like a game wrecking ability, if that makes sense. No, you see, like Maxx Crosby had 10 sacks last season, and it felt like those sacks were like game changing sacks. Montez had a couple of game changing sacks, but for the most part, we were kind of wondering where he was all season. But he did get 10 sacks. But hey, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Could the Bears get better defensively by improving their health? Or can the defensive line players currently on the roster take things up a notch? Let me know what y'all think. My number two way to improve is Ryan Poles is going to have to, him in the front office, they're going to have to win the offseason again. Like, I know a lot of people make that joke that the Bears won the offseason every season, but they're going to have to do what they did last season again. We saw Ryan Poles catch lightning in a bottle. I mean, his draft was immaculate. The trades that he made, bringing in Joe Tooney, was immaculate. The free agent signings and waiver claims, like it was almost like he couldn't really miss, right? Like, now a couple of the people that he brought in didn't work out. We're not going to mention the defensive end that just didn't play well until he got hurt and missed the rest of the season. But he's going to have to do it again, and it's going to start in house. Bringing back Kevin Byard is a must. He needs to be re-signed yesterday, actually. The Bears cannot afford to lose the all-pro safety to free agency. Even with his injury history, I believe if Jaquan Brisker is willing to come back on a team-friendly deal, they should bring him back. And the Bears should bring back Nashawn Wright and Jalen Johnson, obviously, because he was hurt last season. I think if he's healthy, he's still going to be really, really good for this team. And I know many fans want him gone, but DJ Moore should remain on the Chicago Bears. He is a proven wide receiver. He plays through injury. He goes out there and does all the dirty work. He does need to be on this team, I believe. Now, it's not looking too good for Andrew Billings or Tremaine Edmonds. We all know that Billings is a strong run stopper, but his numbers dipped across the board last season, and he left a lot to be desired. He had 23 solo tackles and 1 sack. It's possible Poles can replace him via the draft or free agency. Now, unfortunately for Tremaine Edmonds, he's making a lot of money, and the Bears are over the salary cap. If they cut him, they'll create a $15 million in cap space. So Edmonds started the season off really, really well, but he was derailed by a groin injury, and he missed 4 weeks. After he came back, he was not himself and finished the season with 85 solo tackles, 2 sacks, and 4 interceptions. But the 11 missed tackles and the 87.2 passer rating allowed leads me to believe that Poles and the rest of the Bears front office will be forced to make a tough decision and make Tremaine Edmonds a salary cap casualty. Now, Marco Jackson came in and played well, though. He played in 4 games, and when Tremaine was out, 30 tackles, a sack, and an interception. He can probably compete for that spot next season. Now, besides taking care of business in-house, Ryan Poles will have to seriously inquire about Maxx Crosby from the Las Vegas Raiders. Look, as an edge rusher, he ranked second in solo tackles with 46, second in assisted tackles with 19, second in stops with 46. His 10 sacks are nice, but he also had pressures, hits, a high rate, and he had pressures, hits. He was batting down passes, all of those things, man. Like, we know that he's a game record. We saw him face to face against the Chicago Bears, and he was basically responsible for Las Vegas being in that game last season. So putting him on the line with Montez Sweat could probably unlock Montez Sweat and help Austin Booker step forward as well. So let me know what you guys think. If can Ryan Coles do it again? Can he put his fingerprints all over this offseason and help improve this Chicago Bears roster? Now, my number 3 reason the Chicago Bears are going to improve next season is because Ben and Caleb they're going to continue to develop their already flourishing relationship. It's no secret the Chicago Bears were a few plays away from playing for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Now, if you tell me that this time last year you thought this team was going to have the kind of season they had, you're either lying or you're Nostradamus. Either way, the Chicago Bears are going to sink or swim with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. Thanks to Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams was 68 yards away from becoming the first Chicago Bears quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards. Now, he was sacked 68 times a season ago. He was only sacked 24 times this past season and threw 27 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Now, the playoffs notwithstanding, he did throw a lot of interceptions in the playoffs, but the season overall was a success for Caleb Williams. We all witnessed the off-script throws, the impossible comebacks, and the will to win. But if the Bears are going to compete next year, and year in and year out, honestly, in a tough NFC North, Ben and Caleb are going to have to fix the little things. Caleb Williams' completion percentage of 58.1 is going to get better the more he takes command of Ben Johnson's playbook. Now, overall, the Chicago Bears offense took a massive step forward under the guidance of Ben Johnson and his coaching staff. The total offense ranked 6th in the NFL with 369.2 yards per game, 9th in points per game with 25.9, 3rd in rushing yards, and 3rd in pass blocking. Just imagine how they're going to look in year 2 under Ben Johnson. Now, speaking of Ben Johnson, though, he is a Maverick, and it's like a gift and a curse, right? Because when you go in for it on 4th down and you get it, you pick it up, it looks great. But when you leave points on the field in the playoffs, it causes people to kind of second guess you. Ben Johnson will have to be better at taking points next season. He'll also have to know when to rely on his really, really good running game when it comes to situational football. But hey, I got all faith in the world in Ben Johnson to make better decisions down the stretch next season, and the Bears will improve. So there you have it. The Chicago Bears exceeded all expectations this season, and they're only going to get better with better health, key additions on defense, and they're going to improve. Ryan Poles is going to cook this offseason. I trust him. He's going to make some drafts, some trades, free agency acquisitions, and Ben and Caleb will blossom even more, guys. I promise you, they're going to take a step forward as a quarterback and head coach. So let us know what you think about today's content in the comments below. I hope you guys have enjoyed this season, from C-Dub to Bobby to Steve-O to myself to Big Mike. And Hayes is going to be holding it down tomorrow night, so stay tuned. And as always, Chi-Town up and bear down, baby. It's your boy, Big Kev. And we're going to holler at you guys next time. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.